Hello dear students, welcome to Computer Science Department. So in the last class we have started the operating system. So one of the system software we have discussed, one of the important component in a computer, right? Operating system. What do you mean by operating system? It is a set of program or it is a one software which helps the user to interact with computer system. Means it acts as an interface between user and the computer system. Means if you want to communicate with computer system, we require some interface. So the operating system provides as an interface between the user and the machine. So then we have discussed some of the functional features of operating system. Apart from those, there are some views of the operating system. So I mentioned some of the views of the operating systems are: the first one, it acts as an extended machine. Operating system acts as an extended machine. The second one, operating system as a resource manager, act as a resource manager, as well as operating system act as a guardian as well as accountant. So these are the three general views of the operating system. So what is this operating system as an extended machine? Means with the help of operating system we can extend whatever we requirement, printer, scanner or some speaker, we can easily extend. The second one, act as a resource manager. Resource manager means all the sources. It may be processors or some additional devices, external devices. So all those will be controlled. And the last one, act as a guardian as well as accountant. Guardian is nothing but protection or security. It provides security to our files. And as an accountant means it controls, it maintains each and every activities, right? So these are general points of views of the operating system. Is it right? So the next part, user interface. The next one is user interface. Means interface the user communicating with computer system. So there are two different ways with the to interact with computer system. There is nothing but interface. So what it interface is, it helps the people. It helps the people and computer, not only people, computers also, to communicate with each other. Why we require the interfaces? To communicate with computer. The user wants this because he wants to communicate with computer system. Computer wants it because they want to communicate with user. So for both, so it helps people as well as computer. Thus the interface helps both people and computer to communicate with each other. To communicate with each other, we require some interfaces. So the nothing but user interface. So in computer or mobile, there are two types of interface we have seen. The first one, CUI, and second one, GUI. There are two user interfaces, CUI and GUI. What do you mean by CUI? CUI stands for is a command line user interface, or normally called a character user interface also. Character or commands. Yes, what do you mean by commands here? Command means we are doing some operations with the help of keyboard only. We are supplying, for example, add, store, delete, some words that we call it as command. Is it clear? So command we are passing. So with the help of keyboard only we are interacting with computer system. Those comes under here. That is command line user interface. Means we are giving the commands to computer and we are working. The best example for CUI is DOS operating system. The disk operating system, or normally called it as DOS. So normally in a computer notable, some black screen window button. Yes, that black screen window is nothing but the DOS mode. So disk operating system. Suppose if you want to work with DOS or disk operating system, there we are not using any mouse. Only keyboard we are using. With the help of keyboard only doing all operation. Suppose I want to create one file. With the help of commands only I am creating some files. I want to open some file. You have to type some commands. It will automatically open. I want to add some data into that file. Again you have to type some. So for each and every activity we have to give commands only. How we are giving commands? With the help of keyboard. So keyboard is compulsory when you are working with command line or CUI, that is command line user interface. There you cannot use mouse. Normally ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬೇರೆ ವಿಂಡೋಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೌಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, we are getting some options like this. But here we are not using at all mouse. It will not work. Mouse ಕೆಲಸನೇ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, only keyboard will work. So that is nothing but CUI. The second one is GUI, that is graphical user interface. The second interface is graphical user interface. So the best example is Windows operating system. Now you Windows operating system note, Windows 5, Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows XP, right? So those are all character user interface alla graphical user interface. Those are all graphical user interface where I can use mouse. Yes, nowadays now in computer ಮುಂದೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, when you start the computer you will get some windows. Just I am clicking there, I am open something, we can open the files like this. So there we can, just by clicking some icons, some symbols, we can easily get the options. Is it clear? So there is a different character user interface and graphical user interface. So these are the two important types of user interface. Means what we have discussed here, the user want to communicate with system. The user want to communicate with computer system. We are using some interface. Yes, interface means we are using some operating system. What are those? There are two types of operating system. The first one is character or command line user interface. Means with the help of command only we are communicating. The second one is graphical user interface. Means with the help of graphics, by clicking or just by seeing we can communicate. Is it clear? So the next we are discussing some of the difference between CUI and the GUI. Then what is the difference between character user interface and graphical user interface? So there are two types of interface. So let us discuss one by one. So what this character user interface is, the user must type the commands to interact with the computer. Means the user want to communicate with computer system, ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, he must type the commands. How we are typing? With the help of keyboard he wants type ಮಾಡಬೇಕು commands, then only he can communicate with computer system. Is it right? So the user, if you want to communicate with computer system, user need to type the commands. If you are using CUI, user must type the commands. For what purpose? To interact with the computer system. If you are using CUI. But if you are using graphical user interface, so just click on icon or menu. Means here user command type ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ. So in Windows you will get designs, graphics. With the help of mouse I can click icon ಮೇಲೆ click ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, or some options, some menus. By clicking he will get some options. Is it right? So this is the first one. So what it says, in character in CUI the user must type the commands to interact with computer. But in GUI the user not typing any command, just by clicking only he starts working. The second one, user must remember the commands. The second difference is the user must remember the command, because when you are working with CUI, each and every activities with the help of commands only. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಒಂದು ಫೈಲ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಆ ಫೈಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಬೇಕು, ದೆನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್. Yes, for every action we want some commands. Those all commands you have to remember. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ if you are using CUI. But if you are using GUI, that is graphical user interface, no need to remember any commands. because just by clicking that menu you will get some options. Okay, is it clear? So everything is ready. Just with the help of mouse, what I am doing, just clicking some menu, I will get some options, I am taking over. No need to remember any commands. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೆ ಓವರ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತದ ಯಾವ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದು, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ಕ್ಲಿಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೌಸ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಈ ಮೆನು ಈ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ. ಅದೇ ನಾವು ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನೆನ್ಪು, ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Yes, that is the second difference. So the user must remember commands in CUI. So here no need to remember any commands. Then third difference, mouse operation not available. In CUI, mouse operation not available means you cannot use mouse if you are working with CUI. That is black screen and the best example is DOS. If you are working with DOS, disk operating system, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮೌಸ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. You must type the commands. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೌಸ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್, ಮೌಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕಿತ್ತಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡೋದೆ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ mouse is available. Normally with the help of mouse only we can work. Mouse as well as keyboard. ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು? In CUI you must use keyboard to communicate with system. Is it clear? If you want to communicate with system, in this we have to use keyboard. Here you can use keyboard as well as mouse. So mouse is available here. Means with the help of mouse you can select something and you can do your work. Is it clear? And the last one is the examples. The best example for CUI is DOS. DOS means what? Disk operating system. It is one of the operating system. And the best example for GUI is Windows operating system. Windows operating system as well as Android operating system. Those are the best example for GUI. GUI means graphical user interface. Means user interface. User system interface ಇರ್ತದೆ. Yes, some designs, some graphics ಇರ್ತದೆ. So by just clicking some option, you will get some options. Is it right? But in CUI, commands. Only commands we are supplying. Right? These are some of the important difference between CUI and GUI. Yes? What is the first difference? So what it says? The first difference is here the user must type the commands. But here no need to type any commands. Just by clicking option you are getting. Your work is over very fast. Here user must remember the commands. All those commands the user ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೆನು ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ. So just by clicking you can get that. So mouse operation not available. If you are using CUI, mouse ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, only keyboard. But here mouse as well as keyboard both it will work. And the last one is the example for CUI is DOS operating system, and for GUI it is any Windows operating system. So these are the some difference between CUI and GUI. Is it clear? So here we have discussed the user interface. The first what we have discussed, some of the views of the operating system. So there are three views. The first one, operating system as an extended machine, then operating system as a resource manager, and operating system as a guardian as well as accountant. They act as a guardian as well as accountant. Then we have discussed some of the important part, the user interface. But there are two user interface available. The first one is CUI and second one GUI. CUI interface means there we are using only commands. With the help of commands only we can communicate with the system. Now computer ಏನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ just supplying commands, only full black screen, no any colors, mouse option ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, completely black screen, just I am typing in instruction, just only typing only, the typing commands, each and every activities with the help of commands only. GUI means graphical, what we are using nowadays. Windows 10, Windows 7, Android. So ಅದನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಮೆನ್ಯೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ, we can easily select. So that is nothing but GUI, graphical user interface. The best example is CUI, DOS, and GUI is Windows operating. And these are the some of the differences. These are the some of the difference between character user interface and graphical user interface. So it is very clear CUI and GUI. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಈಗ ವಿಂಡೋಸ್ 10 ವಿಂಡೋಸ್ 7 ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಚ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಮ್ dir, ಸಮ್ ಟ್ರೀ, ಸಮ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಓಪನ್, CMD ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ? ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈಂಗ್. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಅಂಡ್ ದ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಈಗ ನಾವೇನು ಡೆಸ್ಕ್ಟಾಪ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸಮ್ ಸಿಂಬಾಲ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ವಿತ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೌಸ್. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಮೌಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಸಮ್ ಫೈಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ GUI, ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ ಯೂಸರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇಸ್. ಎಸ್, ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಯೂಸರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೀನ್ ದಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ನೋ ಅದರ್ ಕಲರ್ಸ್, ಏನು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೈಪಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ and the some operation is going on. Is it clear? So for example, ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಫೈಲ್ ಓಪನ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. assume that there is a one game in your computer, I want to open that. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಸೊ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ದಲ್ಲೇ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಮೆನ್ಯೂ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಗೇಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ದಿರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ ಯೂಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ದಲ್ಲೂ ಹಾಗೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಬಟನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ವಿತ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೌಸ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. This is graphical user interface. If it is CUI ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಓಪನ್ DOS, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾತ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ನ ಹೆಸರೇನು, ಆ ಗೇಮ್ ಹೆಸರೇನು, ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ, ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್. So that is the difference between CUI and GUI. Is it clear? So these are the very important part, the user interfaces. Yes, the remaining things we discuss in the next class. Okay, thank you.